Is football crazy? Is football mad? That football it has taken away the little bit of sense he had. And it would take a dozen servants to wash his clothes and scrub, since Paul became a member of that terrible football club.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the football podcast nobody asked for. I am your host Jeffrey Gibson, and on today's episode I am going to be previewing the Women's Olympic quarter-final between Great Britain and Australia, but I'm afraid before that I am going to have to put you all through another awful monologue, so let's get that over with. England are playing Iceland tomorrow. If they win that game, they'll play Tesco's next Saturday and then Asda on Wednesday. The new manager of our struggling football team is strict and won't stand any nonsense. Last Saturday, he caught two fans climbing over the stadium wall and was angry with them. He grabbed him and said, "Get back in there and watch the game until it finishes." My partner just split up with me because they think I'm obsessed with football. I'm a bit gutted about it. We'd been going out for 3 seasons. As the team's struggles continued, a pound coin was thrown onto the pitch. Police are trying to determine whether it was a missile or a takeover bid. God and the devil were having an argument, and Satan proposed a football game between heaven and hell to resolve the dispute. God, in his eternal goodness, pointed out that it wouldn't be a fair match because all the good players go to heaven. The devil smiled, replying, "Yes, but we've got all the refs." And finally, how did the football pitch end up as triangle? Somebody took a corner. And that ends another awful monologue. It's now time for our preview of the quarter-final between Great Britain and Australia, and I think it's safe to say that both of these teams has had very different group campaigns. Great Britain won their group with 7 points, whereas Australia could only scrape through in third place with 4 points in the group. I think looking at how well both teams competed in their respective groups, I can only see one winner, which is Great Britain. But with that being said, if we're not careful, Australia could easily end our hopes of a medal. But I am sure the Great Britain manager and the team will be focused and professionals during the match. As for a final score prediction, I think it's going to be a very close and tense match, but I think Team GB will do enough to either win 1-0 or 2-1. That brings to an end another episode of the Football Crazy podcast. I will hopefully be back should Great Britain reach the semi-finals, but if they don't, our next episode of the podcast will be a preview of the bronze medal match. So until next time, thank you so much for listening, stay safe and enjoy the match.
Is football crazy? Is football mad? That football it has taken away the little bit of sense he had. And it would take a dozen servants to wash his clothes and scrub, since Paul became a member of that terrible